Welcome to our YouTube channel dedicated to exploring the latest insights and opportunities in the world of finance and investments, with a special focus on currency revaluation, gold and silver investments, cryptocurrency, and make money online opportunities, and more. If you're interested in staying up to date on the latest developments in currency revaluation, particularly the Iraqi dinar and other currencies, best to subscribe to this channel. Please note that the content on this YouTube channel is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the opinions expressed on this channel are based on our own research and personal experience. We strongly recommend that you do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. Also, just before we go any further, this channel has a weekly giveaway of 100 Dogecoin. To enter, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, like this video, and watch this video until the end, because if you don't, you will be automatically disqualified from the giveaway. We will be sharing the random hashtag keyword daily somewhere in the video, and then comment hashtag the keyword with no spaces in between in the comment section. Good luck! Now let's proceed with the latest Iraqi dinar news and intel today. Please take these pieces of information with a grain of salt, and please make sure to do your own due diligence. Something feels different this time. Quieter, more deliberate, but impossible to ignore. A conversation inside a regional U.S. bank led to a closed-door response about currency exchange readiness, complete with plans for DeLARue machines and designated staff. That alone would raise eyebrows. But when you pair it with reports from Iraq that Iran is losing its grip and that Sudani, not Tehran, is now steering the ship, it paints a bigger picture of sovereignty returning to Iraq. Then comes news that oil stipends for Iraqi citizens are being prepared for digital distribution, something you don't do unless the currency carrying those funds is about to mean something more. And quietly, almost without notice, the IMF confirmed that Iraq is now routing all international transactions through commercial banking channels. That's a massive structural shift, one that just might signal a currency that's ready to move beyond its artificial program rate. These aren't isolated moves. They're coordinated. They're intentional. And if you're paying attention, they could mean the long speculated revaluation is no longer theory, it's preparation. Stick with me through the full video because I'll walk you through what each of these pieces could mean when tied together, and at the end I'll share my full analysis. Let's get into the updates. From Intel's newshound guru Mark Z via PDK, I received this one a few days ago. I walked into a regional bank and asked the teller if this location had a DeLARue machine. She quickly passed me on to the bank manager. The manager scooted me into her office and closed the door. She asked why I would be needing one, and I said I would be participating in the upcoming currency exchanges and wondering if your tellers were trained. She said they were getting a DLR machine for this location, but only herself and her backup manager would be facilitating exchanges. She never asked what currencies I had. I never offered that info. She did say when the time comes, either myself or my assistant could travel to me to take care of my transactions. I turned down that offer, saying I wanted to be treated like everyone else. A couple weeks went by and I popped into a teller window to do my normal banking. I asked if the bank manager was in and was told that she was at lunch. As I was leaving, the teller told me the bank manager was coming out to speak with you. She explained that all the tellers had been told to let them know if I came in looking for them. The bank manager arrived, and I was red-faced at having made her leave her plate to answer an insignificant question. No matter how I try, they will not treat me like everyone else. This is a true testimony that even some Tier 3 regional banks are aware of the upcoming reset and will be taking part in the exchanges. From Intel guru, Frank26 Iraq Boots on the Ground report. From Firefly, economist on TV, he was talking all day, and he was talking about how Iran is losing its grip on Iraq. From Frank, that's the security and stability we have all dreamed about. He's telling you the truth about your monetary reform. It can be born with a new exchange rate because Iran is no longer in control. Sudani is in control. Donald Trump is in control. Iran knows that. From newshound guru Clare. Article: Congress votes on an amendment to ban funding for Iranian organizations in Iraq. Quote, the U.S. House Republican Armed Services Committee announced on Wednesday its passage of an amendment introduced by Representative Joe Wilson to the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, to prohibit funding for Iranian-linked organizations in Iraq. Wilson is known for his anti-Iranian stance and has previously called for making Iraq great again and for ending Iranian control over the country, following his previous calls to halt funding to Iraq. From newshound guru Militia Man, everybody's ready to do business in Iraq. Now we're waiting to see if we can get this over the edge at any time now. We're hoping the resolution comes out of the oil deal with the Kurds in Baghdad. It's all budget-related. That court case they postponed is effectively budget-related because Article 12's 2C is an amendment for the 23-24 budget. Before the Parliament gets those 2025 budget schedules, that's what I'm looking for. From newshound/Intel Guru FNULNU, response to Guru Mark Z 7/15/2025 post. The mad rush in banking software updates is because the new messaging system, FedNow, is digitized and ISO 20022 compliant, and many changes must be made to comply with these new regulations. The deadline was yesterday, 07/14/25. These changes have nothing to do with the mythical, magical QFS quantum financial system, which does not exist, cannot exist, and is nothing but more Dinarian mythology. From Intel Guru Frank26. Community comment. The International Monetary Fund just posted, Iraq is not going to do anything with their exchange rate next year or the year after. We're screwed. They're never going to raise the value. Did you also see where the International Monetary Fund posted, Iraq is going through a revaluation of their currency right now? Which one are you going to accept? From newshound guru Sandy Ingram, the United States says Iraq is helping Iran secretly sell oil, which is against international rules. If Iraq doesn't stop, the United States might block $350 million in oil money and go after Iraq's main oil company, SOMO. From newshound Intel Guru Walkingstick. The HCL belongs to the Iraqi citizens. They get what's called a stipend. You get a little piece of it. But that little piece, along with the purchasing power, will make these Iraqi citizens very happy because the oil belongs to the Iraqi citizens. Iraqi citizens all have their own accounts, so this stipend of the oil will be given to them. If they didn't have those bank accounts, they wouldn't be getting this oil. It is now digital. Before ending with the last updates, the hashtag keyword for the 100 Dogecoin giveaway is provision. Comment below if you think we are close to the revaluation or the reinstatement of the dinar. You can be the lucky winner if you like, subscribe, and watch the main content of this video. This will be for this coming Sunday's giveaway, and the winner will be announced in one of the Sunday's videos, so you do not want to miss it. From newshound guru Clare. Article: International Monetary Fund explains Iraq's exchange rate arrangement. Quote, there has been a change to Iraq's exchange system since the last Article 4 consultation. Iraq continues to avail itself of the transitional arrangements under Article 14, Section 2, but no longer maintains any restrictions under this provision. Iraq does not maintain any current account exchange restrictions or MCPs. Starting January 2025, all international transactions have been routed through commercial banks via their correspondent banking relationships, CBRs. From newshound Militia Man, Iraq has about $100 billion in reserves or more, and they've got about 146 tons of gold. And instead of being just oil, they've got non-oil resources. All of that supports Iraq's real effective exchange rate into the future. And finally, the last update is from Intel Guru Frank26. If the salaries in the HCL is all tied to the oil, and it's all found where in the budget, the glue is a new exchange rate. Now that we've covered all the latest Intel updates, here's my personal take on where things stand in the bigger picture of Iraq's revaluation or reinstatement process. In my opinion, one of the most exciting confirmations this week came from Mark Z's report on a regional bank manager openly acknowledging the installation of a DeLARue machine and that only a select few are being trained for currency exchanges. That's not a rumor, it's operational readiness. When Tier 3 banks are preparing behind closed doors, it means real-world protocols are being put in place for what many of us have been waiting for. Combine that with Walkingstick's update that HCL oil stipends are now being delivered digitally to Iraqi citizens, something that requires both banking infrastructure and purchasing power, and it becomes clear they're not preparing for the status quo. You don't roll out oil profit distributions through digital accounts unless you expect the currency carrying those funds to hold real value. That points directly to a stronger rate. Then we have Frank26 and Firefly, who highlight that economists on Iraqi television are saying Iran no longer holds influence over Iraq's monetary decisions. That's a massive geopolitical shift. With Sudani in control and Iranian interference declining, Iraq is gaining the freedom to chart its own economic future, including reforms like a reinstatement or revaluation. Political sovereignty is a critical component of monetary sovereignty, and it sounds like both are finally aligning. But the most significant update this week, in my opinion, comes from Clare's report quoting directly from the IMF. This one isn't speculative, it's institutional. According to the IMF, Iraq has removed all restrictions previously allowed under Article 14, eliminated multiple currency practices, MCPs, and as of January 2025, all international transactions are routed through commercial banks via correspondent banking relationships, CBRs. That is a massive technical milestone. Let me explain why. Removing MCPs and lifting restrictions are among the final steps required before a country can transition to Article 8 status, a prerequisite for a fully tradable and internationally recognized currency. And while Iraq hasn't officially declared that shift yet, they are clearly operating as if they already have. The structure, compliance, and transparency needed for a global exchange rate are now in place. And here's the truth. The IMF wouldn't publicly release this kind of progress if it hadn't been verified. This update directly contradicts the 2 years away narrative and, in my view, debunks the claim made by FNU-LNU that no significant RV or RI is coming soon. Iraq is not waiting, they're acting. Whether they formally announce Article 8 or make a sudden move to introduce a new exchange rate mechanism, they're already doing the hard work that makes an RV or RI possible. So in my view, this Clare IMF update is the strongest signal yet that Iraq isn't talking about reform anymore. They're implementing it. When you tie that in with the bank confirmations, HCL digital payouts, and fading geopolitical resistance, the foundation is laid. The only thing missing now is the rate. That's my final take for this round. When the technicals line up with the timing, it's no longer theory, it's execution. Furthermore, we posted a breaking analysis the other day. This is breaking news out of Iraq. The country just completed a major step toward full WTO membership, and it's sending shockwaves through the Dinar community. In this video, I dive deep into what this means, how it connects to Article 8, currency convertibility, and why this moment could be a key turning point toward the RV or RI. Most people don't realize how significant this move is, but once you connect the dots, the picture becomes crystal clear. I did a full analysis breaking down the implications, the timeline, and whether Iraq could actually pull the trigger soon. Don't miss it. Click the video in the top right to watch now. Lastly, we will continue to post videos about the recent events and articles supporting the changes taking place in Iraq, so you don't want to miss them. Also, don't forget, please drop a comment below with hashtag and the keyword and let us know what you think. If you like this content and like to support this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified when new videos are uploaded. See you on the next one.